Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Psychic TV International. My name is Harry T, and it is Saturday, the 6th of May at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Time. Yes, it is the day of the coronation. Someone has written that. I wonder if I can actually see all your comments. I just have a question about that, just because I noticed something on my end, sort of a little bit different. So let me just see if I can see all of your comments. By the way, I'm loving our intro video. What a great job production have done. I loved it. Okay, yep, your comments have flooded through now. Hi, Shawana. Hi, Andrew. Yes, I saw Coronation Day. Hi, Katika. Hi, MJ. Hi, Kerry. Or Kerry, sorry. Or it might be Kerry or Carrie. Hi, Shian. So good to see you. Let me see if if there are any other comments, just because they're the only ones that I can see. Let me just double check. I'll go on my Facebook page. So keep saying hello and let me just see. Sometimes for some reason I don't see all the things. So let me just go onto our page. Hold on, let me look it up. So while we're doing that, like and share the video. Let me just look it up. Or you might be all watching the coronation. To be honest, that's what I would be doing if I wasn't working. Let me just, that's us. Yep, that's working. Let me just see the comments compared to here. All right, so Shian, yep, and then Wendy, yep, and then Gabriella, yes, I can. Hi, Gabriella, Rebecca. Okay, yeah, it looks like it is working. Perfect, amazing. Okay, great. I'll leave that over there. How is everyone doing? Are you watching the coronation? It's very exciting. Well, Helen is actually from England. Helen Mansell, good evening, good day from England. So you are actually there. Wow, amazing. Hi, Renee. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Alan. That's a cool name. So please like and share this video, people. And once you've liked and shared the video, you can leave a question that you've liked and shared. And I've just found one. Let me just save that. That you've liked and shared the video. And your question is, will I move house soon? Or will I get the job that I applied for on Monday? Or will the relationship with so-and-so be successful, or whatever? Ask a specific question and hopefully one of our psychics will be able to give you those answers. What else do I have to tell you? I'm trying to think what else I have to tell you. I don't think there's too much announcements to make. The May stage show we've postponed to later in the year. I think we knew that. I think I said that last week. I think I might have told people that last week. But I didn't have confirmation of that, but I knew. I knew. Oh, someone's watching on the big screen and it feels like you're there. That's amazing. Okay, let me save that one. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. Oh, yes. So the website is psychictvinternational.com. And our phone numbers, of course, are scrolling down on the bottom of your screen and also within our post. The phone number in Australia is 02907101199. Phone number in the US, 191437372880. Phone number in Canada, 17788071426. And our mobile number worldwide is +61 488825177. I'll let you know who is on. Right now, we've got Grace on pin 9888. We've got Leslie on pin 9116. And we've got Natalie on pin 9810. So definitely give one of them a call. They are available, logged in right now for your call. Don't ask questions without liking and sharing the video. That's a big no-no. And another no-no is once you've liked and shared the video, you've got to leave the comment with your question together. So, hi, I've liked and shared, will I move house soon? So like the video first and foremost. If you're watching, press the like button, click. And then you press the share button, click. And then in the comment bar, you write, hi, I've liked and shared, will I move house soon, or whatever. Okay? And then we'll go from there. Now let's bring on, hold on, let me just change the layout. Let me bring on, we've got Ben Mihan on pin 9808, and we've got Isabel on pin 9102. So let's bring on our first guest. We'll bring them on together, but then we'll bring on our first guest. Do you know I changed that? Isn't that funny? But everyone loves that. Hey, Ben.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Long time no see. How are you doing?
I know. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. What's happening? What's new?
Just moved. So I've just moved to Toowoomba, so enjoying that. Getting ready for a nice cold winter.
Oh,
yeah, so just settling in. You know how it goes when you move. So lots of fun.
Oh, yeah. Well, I suppose it depends, doesn't it? It depends on the version of fun. I mean, it can be so stressful. How
It
how
can be.
how did you go about it? Because didn't you move not to? I feel like you moved. Did you move not long ago, or was that
Yes,
just
I
like?
moved about 7 months ago, and
Oh,
then I got a new job a few
oh,
weeks ago. So,
how
I,
exciting!
yeah, so I just moved to Toowoomba for that. So yeah, it's been great so far.
Good on you, Ben. Good on you. Now, for people who may not be familiar with you, Ben, could you just tell us a little bit more about you? That would be wonderful.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name's Ben. Been part of PGB for quite a while, and Harry is amazing. So thank you for having me on
Oh,
tonight. I'm a psychic, so basically, I basically able to tell you about what's going on in your life and give you clarity, especially about the future, to make you feel a little bit more confident moving forward. So if you have any questions in particular, make it very specific so we can get straight to the answer, and leave them in the comments.
oh, wonderful. Well, Ben, you've always got great feedback. We always love having you, so it's a pleasure to have you back. And then now we'll bring on Isabel. Who have you met Isabel before?
No, not yet.
All right. Well, you're about to meet her now. Ready, steady, go. Hi, Isabel.
Hi
Hey, Isabel.
guys. Hi
Hi,
Ben. Hi Harry.
Hello.
hi. How you going?
Good, good. Can't complain.
Oh,
Can't
that's
complain.
good. That's good. Loving your backdrop.
Oh, thank you. I'm sitting in the lounge room, so I've got all my
Beautiful. Oh, your lounge room looks good.
Oh, thank you.
Tell
Stop
us,
it.
Isabel. Tell us, Isabel, a little bit more about you and how you can help people. That'd be amazing.
Sure. So I'm psychic clairvoyant and medium. I also have the ability to do medical intuitive reading. So I see everything through X-ray vision. So my abilities, although I can utilize all types of tools, whether it's tea leaves, cards or whatnot, I prefer just to use my clairvoyance. So being able to see everything through vision. And I also scribe, so I will psychic write as well. So as I channel with spirit, I'll get a lot of information that way. And like Ben said, it would be great if people are specific with your questions, so that way we can get through as many as we can. And and let's hopefully we can help everyone, or as many people anyway. We can't help
Amazing.
everyone.
Amazing. Okay, let me see. Oh, Cherie, there you are. I think Cherie just said, Cherie's one of our regulars, so I just got excited. She said, sorry, I was like finishing dinner and watching my shark lose, not happy. Oh, the Sharks lost. Boo. We love Shireen. I sort of back Shireen with everything. So we're not happy about that. All right, let's see. Oh, hey Leslie, how are you? Gorgeous. Love her.
Hey, Leslie.
Okay, let me bring on our first question. Renee liked how I said ready, set, go. Okay, let me bring on this might be a good question for you, Ben, because it's quite specific and I think it could help this person very much. Hi, Donna. I've liked and shared. Will I start to move forward with my spiritual gifts, please? Thank you. Good question.
Hey Donna, thanks so much for tuning in tonight. So firstly, I feel like you need to really take notice of your dreams. There's a lot that's going to be coming through to you in your dreams. It might not make sense when you wake up in the morning, but over the next couple of days after the dream, spirit-wise, it will come through to you and sort of give you a little bit more clarity. There's a few doubts in your mind about whether you're able to go down this pathway, but everyone is born with a gift, and we all have that gut feeling. So go with it. And enjoy the journey. It's a great journey to be able to tap into your intuition. It can help you in many ways, not only in the business aspect, but also navigating life in general. So go full steam ahead. And yeah, I do feel that you are on the right path, and I'm glad that you are listening to your intuition and following it through instead of having a fear and just blocking it out. So let us know how you go on, and wishing you all the best, Donna.
Oh, I love that. And, you're so right. Everyone is sort of like dialed into it to some capacity. And I think it's definitely something that we're all able to access. And it's a great tool and it's a great part of life, I think, like you said, you know, it can really help you in many areas. So that was really well answered,
And the
Ben.
more you
Loved it.
use it, the stronger it becomes.
Yes,
Totally.
definitely.
And do you know what
Yeah.
else? I think it's the more you use it, it's like a muscle, you know, it's like when you
Exactly.
exercise. When you exercise,
Yep.
Leslie does training, personal training, so she probably understands this literally. But it's like when you exercise the muscle, it grows and it strengthens. And the same thing is with our psychic abilities. The more
Yep.
you use it, the better and stronger it gets. You know what else I've noticed as well? The older you get, not to say that age has anything to do with it, but I think that's more based on you're using it more. So it's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
the more you use it, because I know definitely the more someone has done it, or the longer someone has done it, or the older someone is, they're usually stronger with it because they've done it for so long. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
trust it more.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. Okay, that
And
was a
another
great
thing
question.
too is like, you know, a lot of people sort of who use their intuition and sometimes it feels like they're hitting a roadblock. And I always say with trauma or stuff that you're going on in your life, if you suppress it, sort of stops the intuition. It's like if you can imagine a pipe, you know, full of water coming from rain, and if it's not dealing with those issues, it gets clogged up. So once you start to deal with it all, intuition becomes so much clearer.
Very
So
true.
true.
That
That's
reminds me,
true.
I need a plumber. For like, I've got some issues going on.
Oh, Harry.
That's funny. All right, Isabel, darling, let's give you your one. Let me give you which one? Oh, hold on. I think I saved this one. Not sure what that exactly means. I don't know. I like this question, but I'm not sure exactly what it means. So I don't know if I'll pick that one.
That's
I might give you. I might give you. I just changed my mind. I'm gonna give you. This is Teresa. She's one of our regulars. It's covered your entire face. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it to you, and then I'm gonna take it off. So read it, Isabel, and then I'm removing it. So Teresa has said, "I've liked, loved, and shared. Thanks for your time tonight. May I please ask, I've jumped into the deep end doing readings." Oh, this is similar to sort of the theme of the first question.
Yeah.
I feel ready, but I'm a little bit overwhelmed. Do you have any advice or messages around this, please? And thank you. Great question, Teresa.
All right, Teresa. So thank you for your question. First of all, I mean, great that you feel you have the courage to jump in there. My suggestion for you is to meditate. Meditate is going to be and a lot of people think it's so airy fairy, but meditation is really the most simple and most true method of developing your abilities. And the reason being is when we tune in. So basically think of it as when we tune in to get messages, whether it's clairvoyance or whether it's communicating with spirit, it's like you just think of that old fashioned dial, when you're tuning into a radio station, for an example, it's just getting that right channel where we feel, the information comes through. And I feel through meditation is where it teaches you, that mindset. So it's everything comes through a clear mind, not a messy mind. So when we're busy, it's very hard to interpret the messages that are coming through. So that is my first and foremost, advice to give you, is to do that. The other thing is, if you're going to be going in the deep end, instead of going straight into paid readings, maybe start with first giving some free readings first, just to see what feedback you're getting. And because nothing is worse. I've seen people in the past that have gone down that road, and sometimes we work through ego and we think that we're really accurate, and people, if they're paying you for a service and you're being completely not ticking boxes, it can be really daunting. It can really be soul crushing. So although I don't feel that with you, I feel like you will do really well, but just keep focusing on your meditation, your practice readings, doing some little freebies here and there, build yourself up, build your clientele, and then take it from there. I feel like you'll have it. But yeah,
great answer.
Baby steps.
Great answer. Very good answer. Thank you, Isabel. That was great. And well done,
Thanks.
Teresa. Great question.
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Leslie, are you coming to Sydney for the next? No, Leslie, that's postponed. The May show. We moved it to later in the year. The stage show. I think that's what you're talking about, darling. The Tuesday 16 May. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. Yeah, no, we had to postpone that one. I got the confirmation of that just last night, late last night, but I kind of knew that. Yeah, that show's postponed. I think that's what you're talking about. Unless there's something else that I don't know. That's funny. Okay, let me go with Ben, we've got feedback for you, mate, from Donna. Thank you so much. I have a lot of dreams, and I'm Claire. I think she means clairaudient. Yeah, clairaudient. That says clairaudial. That sounds like cordial. Cordial. You mix a little bit of cordial with some water, get some sweetness. Yeah, I think she says clairaudient. But you're right, I haven't used it much, and I do feel Spirit wants me to start again. Go for it, Donna. That's wonderful. Amazing. And I love that you've been having a lot of dreams. You know what? Actually, that's a really good point. Last night, I did a video on my Instagram page. So if you're if you're on Instagram, you can find me at Harry T Official. Actually, I think I shared it on my Facebook page as well, which is Harry T. I'm pretty sure I shared it on both. I can't remember. Anyway, I did a video where I talk a lot about what happened in the day, and I don't want to reveal it here because I want you to go watch it. But in the video at 4 minutes 50, there was an orb that literally flew like over my shoulder, and this was daylight. I shared it last night. This was during the day, so there was nothing. There were no lights. There was nothing, right? And I was sitting in the one spot, and I was doing the video, and I didn't even notice this until after someone brought it to my attention after I posted the video. And I was talking about how a friend of mine had died and how I got these signs yesterday, and then I pulled a card out of I don't know where my oracle cards are gone. Anyway, I was using my oracle card, and I pulled a card for everyone. Anyway, during the video, a spirit, an orb, like literally just like floated over. So that was such a sign. It was amazing. So yeah, that the reason I'm telling that story is I want everyone to see that video, but also Donna, about the dreams. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of dreams of my friend who had died, and that's sort of what compelled me to do that video. So yes, I think it's a great step for you, Donna. So there you go. Amazing. All right, let's go with. I know, isn't that cool? Love sharing. Let's
Love it.
Let's go with okay, hold on. Yes, so I just want to say, so production's just messaging me about something. So yes, so just last night we just confirmed the delay of our stage show. So I just have to say this. So our first announcement of the stage show being postponed is this show. So me saying it tonight, which I said at 8 o'clock. And anyone who has got tickets to that will be notified, I suppose, in the coming week. And all the psychics who aren't watching tonight, who didn't hear my announcement about it, I'm sure you'll hear about it during the week from production, since they were just told late last night, and so was I. And then obviously we were just told it because we had a show today, and instead of obviously promoting tickets, we had to promote that it's postponed. So obviously the next in line will be the people who bought tickets, and obviously the psychics as well. Okay, thank you, production. All right, love you. All right, let me go with this one is going to be, I think we didn't do you last time, or did we do you last time? No, actually we didn't, but you know what? You're from England. So Helen Mensa, I've loved and shared. Are there good things to come as starting a new chapter, a new beginning? Will I be happy moving in with partner of 9 years? I feel sad to give up my home. Many thanks. That's a great question, because there's a lot of things in that, you know, and there's a lot of things about a move. So go for it, Ben.
Well, firstly, I think like this is meant to be right now. I feel like you've done a lot of inner work in yourself, getting over previous trauma to do with the relationships and stuff like that from a long time ago. And now you're sort of opening the door to this new experience with your partner. And obviously we can get very used to being independent, as I say, living in your own house by yourself, and it can be quite daunting having someone come into your space, whether, you know, it's a friend staying with you or, you know, a partner. At first, it's going to make you feel a bit uncomfortable, not in the way that in a love sort of thing, but just that kind of space. It's but just allow yourself to use time to adapt to it. Don't think that everything's failing within the relationship, and don't doubt that you've made a mistake with this person moving in. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Enjoy the next 3 to 6 months. And, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you don't have your space, just make a little plan and do something about it, whether it's going for a walk or going for a drive. Just let those thoughts go, so you don't give yourself extra anxiety that's unnecessary. So enjoy this next chapter with your partner of 9 years. It's exciting times ahead, and I don't see anything bad coming up for you in regards to that relationship.
Okay, beautiful. Very good. All right, thank you, Helen. Great reading, Ben. All right, I've got a pounding headache. Let's go with the Isabel, darling. You've got feedback from our Teresa. Teresa has said, thanks, Isabel. I do meditate, and I have been doing readings for friends and family for some years. I just need to trust my spirit guides are encouraging me, but I get in my head too much. Thanks so much. Well, no, I've got a headache.
Yeah, and that comes with experience, because we question what is it that we're receiving, and what is our logic brain. Our brain kicks in, the logic part of the brain that kicks in, and then we second guess things. And if you're doing that, so you may not be quite ready yet. But it's just taking the plunge. We all know this.
It's funny because I think there's two angles when it comes to when you question things and when you're in your head. There's two angles. One, it's from ego, so it's like your conscious mind, which is not where your abilities come from. You're questioning it, so it's almost like the part of your brain that you're not using is coming in, basically saying, hey, you're using the wrong part of the brain. This is the part you should be using, and you question it. So it's actually a very natural thing to happen. Because of the brain mechanism, I've studied this all, so it's the brain mechanics of it, and it's so funny when I say I've studied it, I've really dissected it, because I've done this for so many years. It's almost like scary to say how long I've done it, because I've done this since I was a kid. I did this long before there were television shows. I was doing this when I was 15 years old, and it's been in my whole life. So I've literally had to study my own self. So I've worked it out. So it's really within our brain mechanics. And the other part of that is it also shows a little bit of humility sometimes, because when you get carried away, again, it's ego. When you get carried away, a little bit of like, whoa, I'm so good. And I've done that before, because I'm obviously a very accurate, I'm very good at what I do. So I've gotten carried away before. So what happens is your brain also checks you. So it's almost like it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing, because you second guess, but then it also checks yourself. So it's almost like a balance. And I think in life, everything is a very healthy balance. Moderation with everything is healthy.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Would you agree, Ben?
100%.
Yeah, it can be quite the battle too for people if they're not used to dissecting it all. So it can cause a lot of anxiety, because they're sort of like, which angle do I believe?
Exactly.
So once you're able to beat that, and even today, we all still probably have that, where it's ego versus intuition. And we could be the best of what we do, but it doesn't mean we're not human, and we have that same battle in our minds. So don't think that you're abnormal, that you're going through it. It's totally normal.
What Ben just hit on is so true. And I've met basically everyone in this industry, right? So when it comes to the ones that have had television shows, I know Tyler Henry, I've met pretty much everyone, and everybody has the same thing. So it's like, we all have that. So it's very relatable. So I think this is helping a lot of people out there. So I'm loving this. Okay, let's go with the next question for you. So that was great feedback. Great. Loving these questions. This is an interesting one as well. Kerry has said, I've loved and shared. Gorgeous photo, and I adore you. I love seeing you on our show. I have a coffee catch-up for a new workplace on Monday. Will I be successful in getting the role? Please and thank you. Good sign, isn't it, if it's a coffee catch-up?
Yeah. So let's have a look. Thanks for your question, Kerry. I'm going to have a look with you. So you're having a coffee catch-up. Okay. Yeah, let me just see. It's interesting, because I feel like it genuinely is only a coffee catch up. Um, in saying that, and I feel like I don't know why I'm getting this male in particular that I'm being drawn to. So I'm not sure if he's the one that you're having the coffee catch up with, or whether he's the one that will instigate this new prospect for you. I must say though. But then I'm seeing you shaking hands with this person as well. So I do. I feel like it's quite positive for you. But Spirit are telling me also, Kerry, that there will be a little bit of a delay. So whether they make that decision and say, hey, we'd love you to come and we'd love you to, jump on board and blah, blah, blah. But there's just, we can't get you started straight away. There might be a little bit of a delay is what I'm getting. But yeah, I am definitely seeing handshakes here. So it looks really positive for you. You have to keep us posted. You have to let us know.
Please keep us posted. Oh, I love that reading, Isabel. And Kerry, that's awesome. That's great. All righty. Let me go with, I've just got all these little devices going on to make sure we're all connected.
She said she's meeting a male. There you
go.
Did
she?
Yeah.
Did she? Where's that? I'm meeting a male, and you're so funny. You're so funny. It's not feedback time, Isabel. Yes, but
so sorry. Excuse me, I'm running the show.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, that's all right, no problem. But all right, let's go.
Harry, you can now go on a holiday. There you go.
I can now. You know what? I'm going to pop my Panadol. And I'm going to leave. I'll pop my Panadol, and I'll leave it up to Isabel. No, I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking.
No, thanks. I was already nervous coming on here tonight.
Were
I don't know why.
Are you sure?
Sometimes I think it might be, I was saying to Ben, it might be like, when you get a bit of pent up psychic energy and it can make you a bit anxious. And I felt that's what I was feeling, a bit racy. And I was thinking, oh, maybe so. But now I feel good. So it's all good.
Yeah, I don't think that shows.
No, not at all.
That's because you guys made me feel really relaxed. See,
you
guys really made me feel chilled. I love Ben's energy too, and Harry's just a crack up. You make me laugh all the time. I love watching you online.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm definitely what you get is what you see, and I think people like that. All right,
absolutely.
Let's go with people are loving this. Look at these people just writing, like the ones that aren't even asking questions for themselves. Thank you. This is great conversation topics and perfect explanations on how the mind works. Ability. Thank you, Penny. That was beautiful. All righty, let's go with. Cherie said, Isabel, no need for nerves. You are doing amazing. Well, Cherie would know because she's one of our pros on here. Definitely a pro. All right, let's go with the next one. No, I don't like that one. Let's go with Helen wrote feedback for you, mate. Yes, it's hard, and that's how I feel overwhelmed. So that makes sense, Ben. A lot of overwhelmed, but yep, okay. Now let me go with I don't know. Maybe Rena. Rena has said, loved and shared. I would appreciate some guidance around work or any messages from loved ones in spirit, please and thank you. Very nice question, that one.
So firstly, with the spirit thing, I feel like there's a older gentleman that's around in spirit. It's like I feel like a grandfather or a great grandfather. Is very instrumental, as all grandparents are, in your life. And whenever you had a hard time, you would pick up the phone or you would go and see him. When you got your car, for example. But in your younger years, obviously, he was instrumental. And I feel like there's been an absence in that since his passing. And sometimes you feel like you just wish you could pick up the phone to call them, like we all do when we lose someone we love. Take note of, I see like a butterfly or a bird sort of as a spirit animal for him in particular. So it's funny, like when you're thinking of someone that's passed away in particular, and then, like for example, like a butterfly flies into your bedroom and it's like gone through all these rooms and it just sits on your bedside looking at you, and it's like, yeah, it could be like your ego and intuition ego saying, oh, the door was open, the butterfly just could have flown in. But then the intuition's like, well, this is quite strange. Like I was just thinking
Yeah.
of this loved one. So really look out for those little signs, because I feel like it can bring, and this goes for everyone, bring a lot of comfort to you when someone passes away, to know that that they're around and sending you messages. The other thing I was going to say is numbers. I feel like 1111 and 2222 is coming up a lot. So you are on the right path in regards to the work and the obviously the communication side of things. So it's good that you're, I guess, expressing how you're feeling and coming on here tonight and able to get guidance moving forward. So be kind to yourself. Your loved one is definitely around you in spirit. Just be a little bit more aware and take comfort in that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. And thank you, Rena. That was great reading, great question. Isabel, Kerry has said, amazing. Thank you, Isabel. That is fantastic. And nothing to lose either way, only things to gain. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
100%.
Which is wonderful.
Thank you.
And you already saw the other comments, so there's no point of telling you that. You already saw that. Okay, so let's go with your next question. I think we're going to go with there's a little bit of a theme happening, I'm noticing. Jocelyn has said, liked and shared. Hello, Harry and guests. Hello, Jocelyn. Did you see my video I posted yesterday, Jocelyn? Do you see me getting a job before New Year, please? Thank you kindly.
Okay. That's for me, isn't it? Right. Okay.
Yes.
Jocelyn, thank you for your question. All righties. So regarding a new job for you, lovely, let's have a look. Yeah, okay. Yeah, actually there's something significant around the month of October, November. So that when I see those 2 months, it usually represents the end of October, early November. Don't feel disheartened, because if you're looking for something earlier, what that can mean is, again, there might be some form of a delay. It might be just when they want someone to commence that job. But in saying that, this makes it tricky because of the way I see things. I'm actually seeing two opportunities. I feel like something's coming sooner for you, but I feel like you'll jump from there to go to this other job. The other interesting thing is with you, I don't know if you work or if you have an interest in, it's like a role where you're helping others. So it's like whether it's a community service type role or whether it's I don't know if I'm saying that properly. It just feels like a role where you're helping other people. But I feel really, really good. So I feel like there's a job coming first, closer, but then I feel like you'll end up going to this other job in the month of October, November. So I know that sounds a bit wishy-washy, but it's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles, It's like, it doesn't rain unless it pours kind of a situation. So you'll have this job offer and you'll be offered something else.
Wonderful. Yeah. Very good. Great reading. I love that. All right, let me go with, let me just save that one. Let me go with Ben. Your turn. I'm going to hold on a second. No, I think that one we just did. It's a double up. Let's go with no, that's a bit general. Let me save that one. No, it needs to click, and it needs to stand out, but it also needs to feel right for the psychic.
That's what I meant. The energy's got to feel right. Like
it needs to feel right for Ben, or I like that one, but I don't feel it. All right, let's go with Ben. Would you be cool with like a mediumship one?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, I think this is good. All right, Gabriella, I've liked and shared. Is there a message from my son who passed away? Please and thank you.
Firstly, I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your son, and something that you obviously struggle with each day. Firstly, it's a hard one because I feel like you crave to see a sign from him, and sometimes when signs don't come, it's like, is he still with us or has he passed right through? And I always say, like, when people pass away, you know, they don't show up in spirit straight away, and sometimes it can take, depending, you know, on whatever's happened. I always say, like, if it's expected or unexpected. If it's expected, I feel like they come through a lot sooner. I don't know if Harry, you can relate to that, but if it's something that's like really unexpected, like an accident or something, I feel like it takes a little bit longer for that spirit to send messages through. Um, he just wants you. There's something to do with your work. Like he's saying about your work. It's something that you need to be able to move forward. It's like your outlet to be able to cope. And obviously, we all go to work to earn money, but for you, the people around you is what is helping you on this journey. So he's sort of just giving the message of saying, keep, you know, communicating and talking, and don't ever feel like you're sharing too much with this person or whoever you work with or your close friends. Keep communicating how you're feeling. That's all how grief goes. And he's saying something about a tattoo. So I'm not sure whether previously it's sort of like you were like, nah, never going to get a tattoo, but he's saying something about a tattoo if that represents anything to you. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sorry again for your loss.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Gabriella. That was a beautiful reading. Yeah, I think by the way, people are really loving the show tonight, just FYI. I think when it comes to passings, I don't think there's a rule. I don't think there's a set rule on when they can come through, or because, for example, sometimes someone can pass away and the person doesn't even know. And like I've done a reading for someone and someone had died and they didn't even know. You know what I mean? And like they found out, I think the person died like a few hours before the person came and saw me. You know what I mean? Like it was like it was actually. I'll let me share this story because I think people will understand this because it touches a little bit on from you. So I had a reading. This was many years ago. They came and saw me when I did readings by the beach here in Melbourne, and which is now knocked down, and it's actually a friend of mine lives where. It's so weird. Where I used to actually do my clients when I did in person, it got knocked down into like apartments, and now my friend lives there. It's so bizarre. Every time I go there, it's like so like nostalgic. It's like going back to where I used to go every weekend. It's crazy. Anyway, I was doing a reading for a woman, and I was getting all this information. I got the name. I got like everything about this person, and I said, they're in spirit, and she said, oh no, they're alive. And I said, oh, I think they're passed because they're standing beside you. Well, that person had died that day.
Wow.
So this client had no idea, and then went home to find out. I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was, let's just say it was an uncle. It wasn't. I don't think it was an uncle. But let's just say it was. Just to give the story some understanding. She found out that person had died that morning. So that's an example of obviously there was no expectation of that person because they thought they were alive, but they weren't. So I think that's an example of, I don't think there's a rule in when they can come through. I think it's more the living, if they're extremely grief-stricken or if they're holding on to, I suppose, the person, I think then it can block it a bit. I think that's when, what you were saying, Ben, makes sense, when it's sort of like a tragic passing or they pass unexpectedly and the person's aware of it, for example. I think it's the person that can block it because sometimes the soul, obviously goes into the heavens and all of that, and they do visit us. But sometimes the person in life on earth is so grief-stricken, they block the connection because of them holding on to it so much. I think that happens. And I think that's when it can be time sensitive, because normally, and this is the psychology of grief, normally it takes the minimum of 6 months of grief to sort of accept, but obviously not always the case, but normally that's a process sometimes. So again,
and I've had souls come through while they're still in the hospital bed, like they're still alive. But when they're transitioning between our world and the other, and they come through and they said, hello, and they're passing on messages, and they go, but Isabel, they're not dead. And I'm like, well, how are they talking to me?
Because it's the soul. It's the soul. It's like when someone's in a coma. Like I had to do a reading, and this was a very difficult one. There was a very, very famous family, and it was very difficult because I don't want to say it was up to me, but it was like, do we pull the plug? Do we not? And it's like, well, I don't really want to answer that. But so I had to communicate with the soul who was in a coma. And it was really interesting because that, like what you were saying, Isabel, and like what I'm saying in this story, the soul, when it separates from the physical body, it still is linked through almost like an umbilical cord. That's like the silver cord. This is all in my book that's coming out in November. And it's almost like until that's severed, you can still have the living, the physical and the soul sort of coexisting. So you can still communicate technically with both the soul and the body. So until it's severed, there's no actual death, if that makes sense. So, for example, someone in a hospital bed or someone in a coma, the umbilical cord is still connected. The soul and the body, although it's sort of separate, it's still connected by that invisible cord. Yeah. So you can communicate with that. It's so interesting. Isn't this interesting?
It is.
We're really going into it. We're really going into it. We will never know.
Yeah, and we will never know for certain until we cross over that side, you know, and there's so many mysteries. But soon after this woman, after connecting with her, she passed the night after.
Right.
So it goes to show she was very close. So you're right. I understand the soul leaves the body, and, you know, astral travel, like, you know, most of us astral traveled.
Of course.
That's pretty scary stuff.
People are love it. You know, I have a friend who does that, and they come and, because I'm a nighter, I'm up all hours, like 4, 5 o'clock, and I'm just always awake. And I'm always watching something on movies or shows or whatever. And I've got a fascination with crime. I wanted to be a criminologist once upon a time, and a lawyer. So I love crime stuff. Anyway, often my friend will visit me, who's alive, who just travels. And then they'll wake up during their sleep and say, "Are you watching this?" And I'll be like, "How do you know?" They're like, "I just visited you." Like, it's crazy.
Amazing.
Crazy. Yeah, crazy.
And I think too, like when people go through, you know, terminal cancer, for example, I think, you know, from the family's perspective, to know that, you know, it's just not lights out Josephine, and to know that, yes, they're not here in a physical form, and I know it's not the same, but to know that they are around in spirit, I think it brings a lot of comfort to know that they're going to be still around you in some way and aspect. And I think that helps a lot with the grief process when you're able to move forward.
Beautifully said, Ben. Beautifully said. And you know, quantum physics actually sort of validates that as well, because it's almost like a magnet. It's like a magnet. If you imagine energy as a ball of energy, it's like it's still attracted to its source. And it's just incredible. People, can I just say, people are absolutely loving this show.
I love it too. I think it's great.
Well, we're coming from an educational point of view as well. And I mean, you know, we have so much wisdom between all of us, and there's so much to share. And, you know, it's always so reading. I get quite bored of that, if I'm being completely honest.
And do you know what, Harry? I found now this time, you know, after COVID, actually throughout COVID, I found many people were starting to find their own abilities because they were all isolated. So everyone started turning within and started feeling, oh, I'm sensing things, and I'm, you know, and it was so bizarre how many people were coming out saying, I feel like I'm getting these feelings. So
they're coming out of the closet, you know, it's so true. And, you know, another thing, it's almost like people work so much in their own time and space. I mean, especially here in Melbourne. I mean, I live in the most locked down city on the planet. It goes down in history. I mean, I can say I'm one of them, you know, so I can tell you. I actually gained a lot of weight. I mean, everyone is constantly saying, "You're so skinny. I'm so skinny." And I'm like, you're only saying that because I gained so much weight in COVID. You know, it's not, I'm actually naturally a very thin person. But, you know, because of COVID, we had like 2.5 years of lockdown. I gained a significant amount of weight. So I had ballooned, and people were used to me being a little bit heavier. And then when we got out of lockdown in Melbourne, it all just fell off, and I'm back to being quite thin. And everyone is constantly saying, "Are you okay? You're very thin." I'm like, I'm fine.
As psychics, it can be a really lonely path doing the work that we do, because it's very it's a very lonely road. It's like
you're right. You're so right.
We're in between different worlds, and it's like it's full on, isn't it? And it's like not everyone understands it. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially like when you're trying to share what you do, and then you have that fear of that the other person that you're talking to is not on that journey yet of tapping into the
Exactly.
intuition. So you sort of hold back a little bit because you're like, oh, do I share it? But then later on, they tap into it and it becomes a lot more easier because they're like, oh, now I get it. It's not, because
Yeah.
obviously, even still to this day, people think psychics are fake and this and that. But I
No.
always say everyone has the intuition. It's a gift. We're all
Yeah.
born with it. There's
We are.
nothing
They're
fake
like
about it.
animals. Look at how come animals trust their instinct?
That's
How
right.
come children? I say to people when they try, when you get, friends' husbands, and they go, "Oh, psychics," or whatever, and then they go, and I'll say, "But why is it so airy fairy when an animal like my dog would never harm a living soul, but yet she'll bail someone up if she feels that they've got
Threatened.
some, and that freaks me out because I'm like, if she's bailing someone that is the most gentle dog in this world, that's bailing someone at the door, I know not to let them in. And this is a person I knew quite well. Do you know? And children, how come they can trust their instincts? We lost that a long time ago, and so we're going back to this whole, and that's why so many people show an interest because it's fascinating.
You're 100%. And I want to say something about Ben. Ben actually comes from a perspective. Ben Meehan's very intelligent. Ben's a very very high IQ, very smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's very he's got scientific background as well as technology, and he's in media and he's psychic. So he's masculine. So what I like about Ben is he comes from that perspective of a lot of people who are skeptical are very much in Ben's brain. So I like having Ben, you for example, do this because you come from that perspective of, the male, the scientific, the intelligent, the one that normally will question this, but he also does this. So I think that's sort of why I like Ben on this show, and I think I'm so glad that you're on here. But I want to talk about guys, I mean, everyone's loving this, and we do free readings constantly, so I think this is even better to share.
Just a nice change, guys.
Well, it's a much better, and as the anchor of the show, I think it's so much better.
And you know what? I was talking with Anne-Marie before this, and it's quite funny. We were talking about this, about doing like a podcast where we talk into the deep issues, and that's what's so funny because the show is basically, seriously,
Spirit lead. Hysterical. I had no idea about this, but anyway, it's happened. I want to say something about what Isabel you mentioned about the children and animals. So yes, animals and children have incredible instinct. When I was a young child, and my father tells this story actually, and I don't want to say too much about it. I've included it in my book to a degree because I don't want to implicate anybody because you don't want to. But when I was a child, I would tell my father about someone who he had a sort of friendship with, who wanted to borrow, what was it to borrow? A shovel. You know when you shovel things? He wanted to borrow, and they were friends. So, as guys do, can I borrow your tools? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? And I told my father, this is a true story, and he tells people this, and my dad's sort of like very cynical and not into this either. And I was a child, and I told my father, don't let him use that because I think he's going to use your DNA. Now, I'm a kid. What kid talks about DNA and shovels?
Yes.
And what kid talks about that?
Very specific.
This person ended up many years later, maybe 20, 25 years later. No, not 25 years, because I'm 34. So if you go maybe 20 years, no, more than 20 years, 25 years nearly. Maybe between 20 and 25 years, because I was young. So between 20 and 25 years later, got charged for murder.
Wow.
And I knew as a child
what his intentions were.
He's asking to borrow this shovel because he wants to Isn't that nuts? So that's an example of a child being psychic, being intuitive,
trusting their instincts,
the logical brain. I had no idea. I'm innocent. I'm an innocent kid. I don't know about adults committing crimes and burying and planting evidence, and I don't know about that. I'm a kid, right? It was before my mother had passed. So my mum died when I was 14. So as I said, I was I'm 34, so this is 20 years my mum has been passed. It was before that, so it's within 20 to 25 years. And I'm telling you, they ended up getting charged for murder.
Wow,
and my dad tells my friends this story, like I'm telling you, like this kid, he told me not to give me, and I remember my dad saying, like, don't get involved in adult business. Like, you know, we just, you know, mates, and you don't know what you're talking about. And I pleaded with him, don't give him just trust me. And my dad listened, and look at that. So there's an example. Is that crazy?
That is unbelievable.
Isn't it unbelievable? This is the first time I've shared this publicly, by the way, and it's in my book, and everyone will know about it in November. But it's just on the topic of children and intuition and all that. You know, I think it's
children are remarkable.
So guys, everyone, you need to buy my book. Buy my book, Feed on the Ground.
I know. We're all going to buy your book, Harry. Don't worry.
I haven't even really announced that yet. It's coming out. I think I'm allowed to announce it in a couple of months. But anyway,
how long did it take you to write, Harry?
I'm still writing it. It was meant to come out. It was meant to come out in May, but I just wasn't happy with it, so I've had to rewrite half of it. So I'm still writing it. So it's due in a couple of weeks to the publishers. And
congratulations!
Oh, listen,
yeah, congrats!
Thanks. It's a very big thing, I think, but it's also, I have to say, it's one of the most difficult things I have ever done in my life. In my life.
In what aspect?
Oh, I think just the committing to it. I think committing to, you know, actually saying to people, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. And just like, because everyone's constantly wanting stuff from me. So, you know, saying,
and this is why it's a lonely path.
Like, leave me alone, you know, because most authors, and I hate to say this, and I hope, I mean, I don't want to say this, but I know it's true because I know so many people, they don't write their own books. Other people write their books. So what happens is they have ghostwriters. I mean, it's just the truth. They don't write their own books. So what happens with someone like me, I'm so like, I can't do that. Like, I can't. You know, I mean, I was offered it, but I couldn't. So, you know, because most people who are busy, they don't write their own books. So when I said, no, I want to write my own book, it's just one of the most difficult things I've ever done. It's time consuming. It's confronting. And when you talk about second guessing, there's nothing harder than someone sharing something in a written form and then reading it back, because you're your own biggest critic. So hence why I've changed the book. This is my third go in the manuscript.
Do you think it's the ego versus intuition in that aspect talking about earlier? Or
I think a little bit. But I also think it's from a perspective of everything is constantly in flux. Everything is constantly changing, right? So when you write something, and all authors who actually write their own book will understand this, the book comes out normally about a year after you started something. So even if you don't want to write a book, if you write something down and then leave it, pack it away, and then read it back 6 months later, when you read it, it sounds different to what you would do now.
Yeah.
So it's like that. So even that's the battle. That's why a lot of authors don't write their own books, because they'll do what I'm doing, and they're constantly changing it. Because you write something, then you review it, you think, oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Yes. But that'd be me.
But that's what happens, Isabel. And that's why most authors also have other people who write their books. Because most people who write their own books, they do what I'm doing. They don't like it, they redo it, because you're your own biggest critic, you know. But anyway, this is amazing. So on that note, let's do a couple more, and then we'll.
Harry, can I just quickly say to you, there's a gentleman in spirit behind you.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Well, can I tell you later? No,
I don't like getting readings. No.
Oh, I just want to. He's not going to go away. Can I tell you later?
No. I'm too busy. Thank you, Isabel, for offering that.
That's all right. That's all right. I just hope he leaves me alone.
I hope he does.
Whose turn is it?
I hope that's for someone on here. All right, let's do Ben and you, and we'll make these quick, short ones.
Sure.
And I hope it's for someone, because I don't want it. All right, let's go with Renee. Ben, I think this will make sense to you as well. Again, connected. Loved and shared. Moved interstate a year ago, and still am yet to settle into a permanent home. Will it come? And if so, will it be where I am currently? I'm in the Sunshine Coast. Thank you. Good question.
Firstly, I feel like you're on a spiritual journey yourself. I feel like being closer to the land and the beach is what makes you thrive in the best environment. And I think that over the next 5 years, I do feel like you're definitely going to be within the Queensland zone. I know Queensland's a large place, but when I say the Sunshine Coast, I don't feel like it's going to be very close to the beach. I see a lot of bushland, but it's not too far at the same time. This will be very grounding for you, and there'll be a lot that comes through for you, which will be exciting on a spiritual front. And you'll just feel like, I feel like at times you haven't felt where, like that you are where you're meant to be, and you question, am I on the right pathway? Have I made the right decision? Da 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 da. But the Sunshine Coast, especially the hinterlands, a beautiful area. It's so I feel like do a lot of I see a lot of hiking or like water holes and stuff like that. Keep doing those things if you haven't done that already. Do that, and a lot will come through to you over the next 3 months, and you'll just feel like at
Love
home
it.
and around people that because
Love
city
it.
life compared to like Melbourne, Sydney, compared to living
It can
in,
be a lot.
you know, I'm experiencing this now from Brisbane coming to Toowoomba. You know, it's a city life, and then you come here and there's a lot of farmers, and the vibe is completely different in a positive way. It's very laid back and it's not stressful. So I think that this move is going to be great for you.
Yay! Awesome. All right, and last one, and this is an easy, quick one from Clayton. Great question. Liked and shared. Will I ever get a job in the railway? Amazing.
Hey Clayton, thanks for your question. Look, what I'm getting from you, I don't know why I was getting sort of like roadworks type role. So I don't know if you've been doing that previously or whatnot. And I do feel, and I feel like through this railway job, it'll be through someone that you know as well, or someone that knows of someone that works there kind of situation. So I feel like you'll do well. But also Spirit just showed me quickly regarding your resume to make sure, you know, like there's something significant around your resume. You might need to have it reviewed and looked at, maybe sort of sharpen up a little bit more. And also don't, and a bio about yourself kind of a thing, just to introduce yourself, and don't be shy about putting a little passport photo of yourself to identify who you are, because employers connect with people, their photos, you know, and they don't often realize that they're doing it, but we all read photos. We all, whether you're psychic or not, we all seem to connect with people. So just a little trick to add to that. But yeah, so good luck, because I feel you'll do well.
Yay! What a great show. Everyone's loved it. Everyone's raving about it. It's been amazing. One of the best shows. Ben and Isabel, God bless you both. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your amazing talent and your skills and your readings. Have a great night, and I will let everyone know that you're on, and I'll see you both soon.
All right.
See you later.
See you, Ben.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Harry.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Isabel. Bye, Ben. Bye. Amazing, 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 amazing. What a brilliant show. Everyone, the website is psychictvinternational.com. Isabel's pin is 9102. Ben's pin is 9808. They were on fire. The numbers in Australia, 02-907-10199. Number in US, 1914-3737-280. Phone number in Canada, 17788071426. And our mobile number worldwide is +61 488 25177. We've got Grace available, pin 9888. We've got Leslie available, pin 9116. We've got Natalie available, pin 9810. And as I said, we have Ben and Isabel, who you just saw on right now, and Isabel's pin is 9102. Ben's pin is 9808. Amazing show. Thank you, everyone, so much. We will see you next Saturday, 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Time. Good night, everyone, and happy Coronation Day. Bye.